got our media wizards out tonight, Rick. Do a job for us. That'd be cool. Okay, well, maybe 3, 4 minutes, Aaron.
Okay. Give me a heads up.
I will. I'll give you at least a 60-second.
Okay, that's funny.
How many folks we have out here in the Alley Gallery.
So you're gonna, he said he's gonna start it off in a couple minutes.
Gentlemen, ladies, I think we're going to go ahead and get started with the awards. Come on in, folks. There's lots of good seats up front tonight. And I got out my tape measure, and the judge does not spit very far, so she should be safe up here on the front row. If you want to come on up, good seats. Good seats. And Don, go ahead and get started.
Hey, Barton. Hello, how are you doing?
This button will make the slide. Well, actually, you haven't seen the setup, but I'll have you. Okay. Well, we're doing the 3D awards first. Yeah, and then the 2D awards. And then you can kind of hand it back to me because I'm going to do the Director's Choice Award. And then there's the Esther Mayer Award together. Hang on just a second. I have to do one more thing. You've got to get the big check. By my desk. You need it against the wall. All right. Ready? Okay. All right. Good evening. It's so cool to see so many people in the gallery tonight. Okay, for those who don't know me, I'm Dave Barnes, and I'm the director of the gallery. And tonight we have that special once-a-year, one-of-a-kind deal where we're going to be giving out awards in the Bart Art exhibition, for the Bart Art exhibition, which is our student competitive exhibition to highlight the work of art students here at Barton Community College. And tonight, as we generally do, we have brought in, the art department has brought in, with the sponsorship of the gallery, a special guest judge. And I want to say, first of all, that Bill Forst would love to be here, but he had some, well, a family emergency. His wife is in the hospital. She's doing well. No concerns. Everything is fine. But he was unable to be with us tonight. And he sends his regards, his love, and his apologies to everyone. So I'm just sort of filling in for Bill. But Bill contacted Phil Klima. And I'm going to give her a couple of minutes to kind of like introduce herself and tell us her connection to Barton Community College. And in so doing, you'll see why she was the perfect choice to be our judge this year. She's going to be presenting the awards, and it's going to be kind of like a kind of discovery, because she really hasn't seen the slides yet either. She knows what the awards are, but she hasn't seen them. So as she clicks through them, it's going to be a surprise for her. So give us a few minutes to kind of get into the role of things. But at any rate, without further ado, I want you to please welcome Phil Klima.
I've already told some of the students here tonight that I've taken a lot of classes here, but never as a traditional student. The first time I enrolled in any classes in Barton County Community College was when I was in my 30s. And I had been making pots for, I don't know, 12 years probably, and never subjected myself to any critique from any professional artist. And OMG! Linda Ganstrom was the ceramics instructor, and she brought in some guy that I purposely forgot his name because he ripped me apart. And you know, when you bring your stuff in for critique, you probably usually bring what you think is your best, right? I mean, you know, let's be smart here. Don't bring in that crap that you made and left in the studio. And he hated my pictures. For 3 years, I did not make a picture. I did not make a picture. I didn't stop making pots. I just stopped making pictures. And I love pictures. They can be bases, they can be pitchers, they can pour hot, they can pour cold, they can be a sculptural piece, and I loved them. But I didn't make them for 3 years because this guy didn't like my work. So with that in mind, I want to tell you that the only thing here tonight that you're going to see is my opinion. It's just my opinion. Do not let that stop you from doing art. Please don't do that. That's the stupidest thing I ever did when it came to art. And I've been making pots for now 52 years. I hate to admit that out loud. I live and work and teach in Topeka at a community studio. I do not have an art degree. I know a lot of professional artists that make very good money. Their entire living is made from their artwork, and they do not have a degree either. Some of my all-time favorite mentors don't have an MFA. They might have a BFA, but they don't have an MFA. Stephen Hill, if you ever look at my work, you'll find it under Emma P. Pottery. Emma is a nickname that my sisters gave me when we were in middle school. For those of you that don't know what middle school is, you know, it was junior high at my time. They called me Emma the maid because they would not help me clean our shared bedroom. So I became Emma the maid. And so all my work is signed Emma P. And that's how you'll find my website, emmapottery.com. I am primarily a functional artist, and I expect people to use my work every day. So if you make functional work, I highly encourage you to use it. Try it. Don't put it on a shelf. If you're going to make something that looks like a cup, it better hold coffee. It better hold a lot of coffee these days. And it better be comfortable in your hand. Better not drip. Better be a color that your client is going to like or not like. Somebody's going to like it. But just remember that this is just my opinion. Now, tomorrow morning, I'm doing a workshop over in T151, and we will be doing some altering and embellishing of some forms that I threw this afternoon. Bill copped out. He was supposed to throw those silly forms. So I've been over there, and I'm kind of like, okay, Bill, this wasn't the bargain we had, but but there are some forms that we will be working with tomorrow morning over there. So, all right, here we go. Hang on. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, Dave. I'm pushing the button. Anybody got an idea how to run this?
Try aiming it at the TV. There we go. There we go.
All right. Are we going backwards through this, Dave?
Yes.
Okay. Honorable mention, 3D. Come on.
Slide will do the work.
I want to say something about this piece. This, to me, is a sculptural piece. I like the way that it has been abstracted, particularly at the top, and layered at the bottom. And I like the way the abstract at the top kind of reflects the leaf forms on the bottom of that piece. I'm not sure that for me, that the glaze actually enhances the work. That's just my opinion. Okay, come on. How about if I just say click?
There we go.
All right, third place, 3D. All right, click. All right, love the texture on this piece. Really a beautiful texture on this piece. And I assume it's a raku fire. Or is it a sauger? Raku. All right. Really like the texture on that piece. It's not particularly exciting form for me, but I do love the texture. Click. Second place. Click. Dawn, you're back there. I'm always smitten with a good tile, particularly one that has a lot of texture and a lot of range of motion in it. And I really love the abstracted Madonna and Child in this piece. The texture along the side really speaks about, particularly this texture, I'll use this cane, this texture right on the outside here in the green area reminds me of clothing that was worn in that vintage, in that era. So I really like that. Click. First place. Da, 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 da. Click. What I found fascinating about this piece is that of all the lidded pieces over there, it's the one lid that fits. You know, and that's amazing when you're dealing with a really small piece, and I assume a hand-built piece entirely. Is that right? But I'm pretty fascinated with that. I'm not as fascinated with the mechanical texture on the side because I know you used a roller to do that. So I would prefer to see something a little more original on the side of that next time, okay? But we all use them. We use the tools that we have, and I think that's really important. If you had been here earlier today, you would have seen me in another baggy top, but this one was denim, and it used to belong to a friend of mine that found tools and objects so well. I absolutely was inspired by this woman when I was here on this campus, and her name was Esther Mayer. Oh. And the one thing that Dave and I talked about this morning was she brought in a bulky old sweater, piece of a bulky old sweater, and rolled it through the slab roller with a bunch of clay underneath it, and made the most gorgeous sculptural pieces out of that found object. So while we could all go broke buying ceramic tools, don't be afraid to look in your closet. Don't be afraid to look in the hardware store, or the Dollar General store, or the Dollar Tree store, or the dollar store, whichever, you know, look at a junk store. You'll find all kinds of tools that you can use. My favorite thing to do when I'm teaching intermediate ceramics at the Fire Me Up Ceramics is the place I teach, is I hand them a homemade tool. Sometimes it's a piece of chamois with a bobber on it, because then it floats in your water, you don't use it. You know, that's kind of important when you're a potter. You don't want to lose your chamois, because if it goes through the pug mill, it stinks everything up. Okay, 3D.
Well, Dolores, as the first place winner in the 3D category, you received this wonderful handy dandy art set, and you can come up and get it, or you can wait till I, come on up and get it. Here on the art side. This is given to you via our wonderful friend and supporter, Billy Bonomo.
Well, thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you. All right. I should tell you that I purposely didn't read names or titles or mediums on anything while I was going through everything. And the reason is because I knew I would know a few people. And the other reason is the print is so small I can't read it anyway. All right, click. Third place in 2D. Click. I found the technique in this particularly awesome. While I don't, the subject matter has been done and redone, but the technique used in this particular rendering of Einstein I felt was worthy of recognition tonight. So, congratulations. Billy, I can read that. Is Billy here? Is Billy here? Well.
No, the last time I knew she was in California as of Tuesday.
Okay.
Her teacher's here.
Teacher, oh.
Yeah, she took this workshop with me a couple of years ago when we did grisaille method, black and white, monochromatic paintings. So she started at this workshop.
Oh. Well, you can let her know. Click.
Proud mama.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm proud mama, that's right.
Second place in 2D. This is my opinion. Click. Is Karen here?
Yeah.
Stand up. Oh. This is the longest neck I've ever seen on a woman.
Oh,
And we are all yearning to have that long, skinny neck. Karen, I particularly like the refinement of your technique on the drape on the woman, and it does look like she's yearning.
Karen, have you ever seen the works of Parmigianino, the Vannerist Italian artist?
Oh, I'm afraid not that I recognize the name.
Okay, well, she has a painting called The Long Neck Madonna, which is a very, very, very similar pose with that wonderful neck.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, click. And first place in 2D. Now, before you show this, if you had seen my work, you'll know why I'm so smitten with this particular genre of work. Click. Tracy, are you here? I have been doing a lot of Art Deco, Art Nouveau. So this really, really spoke to me right away when I came around the corner and saw that work. And frankly, you have some other really strong work here, but for me, this combines several techniques rather than a singular technique, okay?
And Tracy, you also received a Billy Bonomo art set.
All right. Are you up, Dave, now? Or
I think so. Go ahead and click.
click.
Nope.
Oh, honorable mention. Okay, they told me I could do one.
Yeah, well, go ahead. They're all listed in a row.
Okay, they told me I could do one. I told them that was insignificant because there were other pieces here that I thought really needed to have some recognition because there's a lot of 2D here and a lot of talent that would go unrecognized. So, click. Very different mediums going on here, and at one point I could tell you the Winnie over here is graphite. Controlled fracture is the pencil. Is that pencil over there?
Yes.
On the eyes, the fractured eyes over there. The sadness of longing.
It's the painting of the
Yeah, it's an acrylic.
It's acrylic over there with
Oh,
lots of texture.
the acrylic,
Yeah.
but that isn't what it was. I don't.
Well,
It was
it
something
had-
about war.
Something about war. It's
Yeah,
a grief of war.
that is not the title that I remember. So that's what's throwing me off. And then the part of the galaxy over here is part of the studies over there. And I really thought that the technique on that particular piece far surpassed the technique on the other three in that grouping. So those are my opinions. And for what it's worth, I want to thank you for letting me come back and be a part of this from the other side. And I've sat in your chairs a lot, and I really encourage you to continue to take classes from diverse people, because everybody's going to teach differently. These two people will teach differently, even though they're related. Yeah. Bill and I teach very differently, and we're both pretty much functional potters. Carol Long is a really good friend of mine. We certainly teach differently, but I think it's really important, and that's why I continue to take classes. If you get a chance, Stephen Hill is one of my favorites. He's just in Kansas City. He's coming to Topeka in September. So that's not very far for you guys. It's just a 3-day workshop or 2-day workshop. The other one that it's here in Kansas that I really highly recommend is Danny Meisinger at Spinning Earth Pottery, south of Kansas City. Amazing, amazing. He makes pots that are that tall. Yeah, they barely fit in his Onagama kiln. So. At any rate, thank you very much. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Dave because he has a special award that he's going to make in the honor of my denim coat friend.
We'll get there, exactly. Okay. Click. Okay, here we go. Okay, as the director, I get to slide in and give the Director's Choice Award, which I think is a very, very important award. And the idea of the Director's Choice Award was that we would give award to a student artist who was using effectively a contemporary vocabulary of art making. Click. And the winner of the Director's Choice Award this year is Isabel Gonzalez. Okay? Are you happy? Cool. And Izzy, of course, also receives a Billy Bonoma art set. Okay, I chose this piece because I really like the way that you use the collage element and how the background has words, and words adds a whole nother dimension to a composition because we not only see the words, but we say the words in our head. So there's also a kind of an element of sound that's brought into the composition. You use two different large paper collage elements and you put one inside the other, which was very smart and very sophisticated way of creating a composition, plus the fact that the two lovers, are so very well rendered and they so capture a kind of, a Day of the Dead kind of a vibe. So at any rate, congratulations. Okay, click. This year, and Phil's going to help me out with this, the art department, and is this the first year that you've given this award?
Yeah, this is the first year.
First year we've given the award, the Esther Mayer Memorial Art Award. And you can jump in here too, because everyone who knew Esther knew that they had met and that they knew someone incredibly special. She was inspirational, if for no other reason, that she made art right up into the end of her life. She never gave up and decided to like sit it out for a while. For her to live seemed to be to make art. She was in the gallery in her 90s whenever the gallery doors were opened. She would come in, and sometimes, you know, we would have to help her in the wheelchair. We would have to get her into the gallery, but she wanted to be here. And when she was here, she was always positive and witty, and I'm just experiencing her for the last few years of her life. I know there's folks that knew her when she was younger, and she must have been a tornado. It's just full of energy. But at any rate, this award is designed to be a memorial to Esther and to honor a student who has some of the qualities that we admired in Esther: determination and courage, and what we believe to be a great future going forward in their artistic career. Tonight, it also kind of functions as the Best in Show Award, okay? And click. The award this year goes to Ashley Herman. Best in Show. Ashley, are you here? Yes. Come on up. Come on up. Come here. We need a photo op. Because tonight, you're going to receive the first first Esther Mayer Award, and it's not Publisher Clearinghouse. It's coming from the Barton Community College Art Department. Congratulations. Very good. And to redeem this, you're going to have to fill out a little bit of paperwork that you can do before you leave. Okay? But right now, you can take the check with you back to your seat, but you can't keep it. It's just for show. Okay. Thank you very much for coming and helping us to honor these very deserving students who have worked so hard. And in so doing, honoring the teachers who have guided them and have spent energy and treasure to try to give them the best introduction to the world of art that they possibly can. So I want to salute everyone who has attended, everyone who has brought students to be honored, and I want us to just spend some time celebrating each other, having some goodies, you know, but the awards section of the evening is over. Thank you very much.
I know it was.
We'll see you a lot like that.